if you haven't been to this channel, or if you have been to this channel before, you're like, what's going on? She has on a red wig and she's dressed like Ariel. What's happening? So in addition to doing mental health content, I also like to travel, and like once a year I do like a blowout trip. Like it could be somewhere, Antarctica, Alaska. This time it was a Disney cruise, so we went all out on the Disney Fantasy. We did concierge, but in addition to it being fun, I also want to share with you some of the hot takes, like things that I don't know if it's just me or no one's saying it. They got a contract with Disney, what's going on? But I don't. Until I do, Disney, I'm open, and then I could take it down, whatever. But I was doing this video because I was like, I need to get out what I thought about my cruise. Because people will come to you after you come on a cruise, or after you get off a cruise, especially a Disney cruise. How was it? It was a great cruise. We had a great time. And I'm gonna have other videos where I like show like more videos of us having fun and the food and everything. Those will probably be edited. But this one I was like, I'm just gonna come off the cuff. But I feel like the issues that I had me conflicted because I hadn't heard a lot of people talk about these things at all. So I am going to talk about some of them in this video. So let's get your cups ready. I'm about to spill some tea on some Disney nonsense. So number one, my first hot take off the bat, which is actually one of the first things that you do when you get on the cruise, is the mustard drill. The mustard drill is a hot mess. It is definitely the worst part of anyone's cruise, hands down, because it makes no sense. Especially if you've cruised before. Now let me run. What's a mustard drill? Mustard drill is, hey, you're on a ship. There's safety protocols. It's kind of like you're on a plane and they're doing like, this is the life vest. That is the same thing, right? But it's called a mustard drill on the ships. And the problem isn't the safety part. The problem is that Disney is so much behind everyone else in how they handle it. You do Royal, you do NCL, you do this, that, and the third. They either have it where it takes no time, doesn't get in the way, it's virtual, bam, done. Disney, no. Everyone has to go. Literally everyone has to attend, or at least that's what they're telling you, that everyone has to attend. And at first it's like, oh, that shouldn't seem bad. But like, this is Disney cruise. There's kids. There's a lot of people with like accessibility situations. It's hot. I couldn't imagine if it was like a storm, a hurricane, what have you, where you need everyone to come out. The other problem is not only does everyone have to come out, right after is the sail away party. So first you're miserable in the mustard drill, and then everyone has to be like cramped up to get to the sail away party. And maybe, I don't know how people navigate it. If you have a better way of navigating, put it in the comments, but it's a hot mess. Number two, which I think is probably the biggest hot take of all, is the food. The food wasn't it for me. This is the way I've been describing it to people. It was the worst type of bad, where it was good enough that you ate it. Not even all of that. I didn't have to eat none of it. So I would say that the food in the main dining halls were probably the biggest turnoff and the biggest upset. But like, it's but so much chicken tenders, hot dogs, fries you can eat. And even that was like, I guess compared to like how much people talk about these nuggets, not the nuggets, the chicken tenders, and how amazing they are and how they're the best chicken tenders they ever had in their life. When you have them, they aren't that. It's quite expectations, people. That's what I can tell you about this cruise, expectations. When you eat it and it's like, I could go to Burger King, it is not okay. So I would tread cautiously if you were expecting amazing cuisine. Don't be expected to get your socks blown off on this Disney cruise. When it comes to like the main dining halls, and this is the Fantasy. I don't know how the other ships, the newer ships are, but on the Fantasy, I think the only saving grace was the fact that we did do concierge. Although they didn't have a hot kitchen, even like the cold options, whatever they had, kind of saved my palate for the trip. And then Palo is good, and also Remy is good. We did Palo for the Prima Notte, that first night situation, excellent, and Remy was delicious. So if you want some more of like a closer to upscale dining, something that you could say like, oh, that was actually decent and good, then I would spend an extra and do the adult dining, the exclusive adult dining that they have. And just to piggyback off of the food being a turnoff, the other thing was like the food that everyone talks about may not be great. So like I said, the chicken tenders and those pasta purses, don't expect it. Just go in there saying this is going to be average. And then you might be happy and excited when you find out that it isn't, but I doubt that will happen. But anyway, just take everything with a grain of salt if anyone's telling you the food on there was so good. People will also say that the service is so good. I'm not going to say that the service is bad, but I will say that the service isn't the best service I've had, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not sure what other people are accustomed awesome too when it comes to service, but I feel like the service did a great job. It was great seeing them at the different locations. All that was nice, but it wasn't the best service you're ever gonna have. So if you're, let me just put it out there, if you're from New York or from any of the big cities and you're used to really being catered to at fine dining institutions and restaurants, I would say, even that you could take with a grain of salt. I'm gonna do this a little bit out of order. I got a little list here. So back with the food situation, the flies are still at Lookout Cay. They're still there. As of May 2026, they are still there. I think some of the things that they do to get the flies out was the reason why I still saw them. So for whatever reason, the fan was broken. They have big fans all over the place, likely to fan away the flies, and they weren't working. And now we're gonna go to a different topic, which is inherent to a cruise catered to a family, supposedly family company, Disney, is that there will be children. And so I want you to know that we should kind of reel in our expectations, right? So when you're on a kids cruise, let's just say when you're on a kids cruise, there's some things that could happen. And I think there's like low hanging fruit, like, oh, it could be noisy. Oh, they could be running around. Oh, that type of thing, rowdy. But let's think about our three-nagers. There were tantrums, and I had to deal with some myself, but there were tantrums. Be prepared for tantrums. I think the thing that made me feel the best was that Jubes was having a tantrum, and then like I had like some issues trying to get her together, but then shortly after, there was positive tantrums in the show. So I felt so awesome about it, that I wasn't alone, and all the three-nagers were doing their thing, so it was great. So just be prepared for tantrums, and also be prepared if you're a parent for Disney adults that think that for people on the cruise that for some reason didn't think kids would be on there. Because there were some that were annoyed. I could understand you being annoyed with the tantrums, but then I can't understand because you're on a Disney cruise. Mickey Mouse, Disney, Bluey, and all them. Like, this for them. This a kids cruise. I know it's for us too, Disney adults. I mean, I gotta own a whole Little Mermaid get up. I get it. And please be prepared for like people be hushing your kids and having an attitude because you messing up the show. You're on a Disney cruise with kids. They're gonna cry. You're not gonna be able to hear Elsa singing Let It Go. I mean, the shows are great, and that's the thing I don't want you to be prepared for, that the shows are great, but yes, there's still children on the cruise, so they're gonna interrupt. They might yell, scream, run, do whatever. That's just for grabs. But be prepared for that, parents. Everyone have your patient pants on, because it's a kind of a tense situation when the Disney adults and Disney parents clash. Speaking of adults, so there are adults areas, and it has like pools and like hot tubs, bars and stuff. Like when you see the tour of it, it looks great. It looks like, wow, it's an oasis away from kids. Just because it's adults only doesn't mean that it's necessarily less crowded. When we went on our cruise, it was capacity, booked to capacity, and the adult section looked like a complete nightmare. Like, it was crowd, and kids can walk through, because you kind of have to a certain extent, you kind of have to walk through the section to get to certain areas, especially if the kids are staying concierge or their rooms are in a certain place. So you will still see children too, but I think the biggest problem is like it was crowded, like packed down. They were better off just going to the regular pool and just like making it themselves a little area, because it was crowded. So just know that adults areas don't necessarily mean less crowded, but sometimes it could be a benefit. So like the adults area, when we went to Castaway Cay, we had a wildlife incident, which was like sharks, which I didn't even know. I thought it was like some kind of Disney magic where sharks don't come there, but we had a shark incident. That was on our side, but the adults only side, they didn't have it. So I mean, I wouldn't say not go to the adults area, don't check it out, but just be mentally prepared that it could still be crowded. My solution was the concierge lounge. If you happen to shell out a little bit more, that was never crowded. That was great. Didn't have to worry about any of that. And then off hours, like really late, really early, that's when I would kind of enjoy all the public areas when I knew no one would be there. And then I'd use the other concierge areas if it was during the day or peak hours. So now we're gonna get to kind of the obvious things that can possibly be for any cruise. Disney cruises are still cruises. So if you do not like to cruise, if you get sick on cruises, if there's some dynamic that happens on a cruise that you don't like, that will still occur or can occur on a Disney cruise. There's also an aspect of cruising that I figured out that I'm not a fan of. Thought about it, I wasn't able really to put it into words. I went on Virgin Voyages. I forgot was it last year or the year before, but I went on there, and their whole thing was to try to make you feel like it wasn't a cruise, but it had a different feel than a normal cruise. Disney does not play on that. It's like, we're Disney Magic, but like the best cruise that you can get. But what I found out is both of these companies, it's still a cruise. And what that means is like, I was able to conceptualize that I don't like how scheduled a cruise is. And it's so much as people are like, oh, cruises are great because everyone can do their own thing. And it's not, you know, you can do whatever you want. It is still a schedule and it's still a cadence. Like the dining halls or the buffets are open at a certain time. You have a certain time to dine. Disney has like, you either have one of two dining times. You got to dine at those times. And then those times are kind of also aligned with a showtime for like the Broadway show. At least 4 to 5 hours of your day is kind of like stacked already. That part of cruising I don't like. And I feel like a lot of cruises are like that, where you're either stacked with activities or you're kind of lost, not even really knowing what to do. So I don't know. If you're not into cruising, don't think that Disney Cruise is going to save you. Also, don't think that like the dynamics of Disney are not there anymore. So you're still dealing with kids, you're still dealing with Disney adults, you're still dealing with lines. We wanted to go see like any of the characters. They have posted times. Let's say it's there from 9 o'clock to 9:15. You get there 9:05. They're like, we're closed, because you have to get here actually 10 to 15 minutes beforehand before the line fills up. Whatever the case may be, it was crazy. It was nuts. So just know that not only is Disney Cruise still a Disney cruise, it's still a cruise, Disney Magic, you know, Disney Magic. And last but not least is you can't do it all. So this was my first one. I'm on the fence if I do it again. I would not say I would never do it again. I'm not gonna say that because we had a great time. My daughter just still randomly just was like, cruise? We're going on a cruise? When's cruise gonna happen again? Like she's like, it's supposed to happen once a month. It's like, cruise? We had a great time. We have plenty of memories, beautiful pictures, great time. So I'm not saying that I wouldn't, I'm not sure if I'd do it again, but I'm saying that because now I know why people do it so many times. And it's not a rarity. Like you go to anywhere, start talking to people, 10th cruise, 20th cruise. When you're doing the pixie dust and you're looking at people's door, 50th cruise, 30, 40. And I'm like, how? Why? Like, what am I missing? What I'm missing is I don't care. I don't have to do everything. I've learned that. It may not seem like that because I try to maximize my time, but I realize that I'm not going to try to do everything. And Disney plays on the fact that a lot of people don't have that peace. They know you want to do everything and they know you can't. There's no way you can do it all. You can do a lot, but you can't do it all on the cruise. It's just the way they have it set up, you can't do it all. But another thing that they do that's kind of wild, the last 2 days, it gets really pumped up. So I'm guessing like maybe the last day on a 3-night cruise, or like the last day and a half on a 4-night. For us, so it's the last 2 nights. I mean, they were really high energy, like packed the schedule, high action. Goofy's up there doing everything at these parties. Shout out to whoever plays Goofy on the Disney cruise. High energy. And then you know what they hit you with? See you real soon. And it's not like just your servers. Any cast member you come in contact with, see you real soon. When you coming back? That got me. Like, do not succumb to the psychological warfare of Disney. Like, I'm used to just seeing it like, oh, just like a picture, you know, like a little sign, see you real soon when you leave the park. But that was wild. If you are strong enough, like I think myself, to be like, you may not see me real soon, it's tough. That's a hot take. Like, they make it where you come back. You could have had an okay time, but the way they carried on the last night, the way they showed you all these events that you missed that you could have done, and the way that they like hammer into you, we'll see you next time, see you soon. Those are my hot takes. Thank you for joining me. I do have some other videos coming up. I have a video about the concierge, whether or not it's worth it. I'm not going to spoil that. You might be able to tell from this video what I thought. And then I also have like, I don't know if I did 50 things you could do at Disney or 30. I condensed it, but I have kind of an outline of most of the things that we did on the cruise. So like I'm saying, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong. I think it's worth trying once. If you are a Disney lover, a Disney adult, you want to just check it out, just say you did. I feel like it's worth doing at least once. I think the Disney Fantasy is a good one to do your first cruise on. Some may question and say maybe one of the newer ones that have a little bit more bells and whistles, but I feel like it's worth doing. Thank you for seeing this video. Don't forget that there's other content on the channel. I do a bunch of mental health series. I do have some vacations. Look at the playlist. Check it out. Check me out. I'm on Instagram. There should be a link tree. Just stay in contact and comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this video. Tell me what you think about the Disney cruise. I want to keep the dialogue going, especially since I'm making the other 2 videos, just to think about what I should add and subtract in those.